Hello everyone! Welcome back to our channel. Again, my name is Richelle. I am a home-based online English tutor. In my channel, I provide tips on how to be a home-based online English tutor and how to pass the interview, especially if you're going to apply in Rarejob. So if you're new to our channel, please consider subscribing, and sa mga subscribers ko, thank you so much for watching my videos and thank you for subscribing to our channel. So anyway, in this video, I'm going to share some tips on how to be an effective online English tutor. Kahit anong company, kahit saan kang company nagtatrabaho, I assure you that these tips are going to help you to be an effective online English tutor. Number 1, be present and be on time. This is very important. Especially, of course, in foreign countries, wala silang Filipino time like us. Our students invested their time, effort, and money in order for them to improve their English skills. They are attending their classes regardless of how they feel. You know, a lot of students actually attend their lessons even if they are tired, hungry, and busy. In return, it's our responsibility to make sure that we are always present and on time. Of course, we're getting paid. So we provide our service, we provide our time, and of course our effort in order to help them improve their English skills. And of course, we are given the opportunity to have a job or to earn money. It's our responsibility to make sure that we are professional. We have to be on time, and if, for example, you cannot attend your lesson, then it's better to cancel the lesson so that it will be transferred to another tutor, or the student will be informed and they have the chance to reserve other tutors' lesson slots. Next, number 2, focus and adjust to your students' levels. Okay, this is very important, and I put these two things together because focusing is very important in order for us to adjust to our students' level. Because of course, if you're not concentrating, if you're not focusing sa lesson mo, you will not know which English level your student has. You will not know if that student is a beginner, that student is an intermediate, or an advanced. So we have to make sure that we focus, we concentrate in order for us to know how to adjust to our students' levels. If our students are adults, then we have to make sure that we approach them in a proper way. We should not treat them as children, and vice versa. Of course, if your students are children, you have to approach them in a proper way as you approach children or young learners. Focusing during the lesson helps us know our students' strengths and weaknesses in order for us to give appropriate feedback para matulungan yung student natin to improve their English skills, because that's the reason why they are taking the lesson. Nung una sa akin, it was hard for me too. Pag this is your first time to be an English tutor, medyo mahirap mag-adjust, di ba? Hindi mo alam kung paano mo i-approach yung student mo. Pero malalaman mo siya the way your student talks. If medyo nangangapa pa siya, of course, you have to slow down. If your student is already very good, then of course, you have to adjust to your student's level too para mag-match kayo. Okay, so that's my number 2 tip. Number 3, be polite and professional. These two things go hand in hand too. Diba? In any kind of job, we have to be professional. Even if we are working from home, we have to be presentable and professional. In order for us to do this, first, we have to make sure that we prepare before the lesson. Let's check our equipment and our lesson materials before the lesson in order for us to be prepared. Also, we have to make sure that we have a good and quiet working environment to avoid distractions. Let's take every lesson very seriously. Also, it's important for us to wear appropriate clothes. We have to make sure that we look presentable in front of your students in order for your students to trust you and to believe in you. And of course, the most important thing, in order for your student to respect you. Diba? And being professional is also very important regardless of your student's personality or behavior. We have to make sure that we talk in a polite way or in a nice way. We also have to make sure that we give feedback, especially negative feedback, in a nice way. Hindi yung ipapamukha mo sa student mo na hindi siya magaling. Let's understand that English is not one of the basic subjects of our students at school. So they didn't have enough chance to learn English like us here in the Philippines. So, for example, yung isang sentence para sa atin is very, very simple or very basic. Baka sa kanila, very complicated na yun. 'Di ba? Because they have different education system sa kanilang bansa compared dito sa Philippines. So we have to make sure that we are polite in giving feedback and of course in talking to your students. I remember I had one negative report from my student because according to my student, I wasn't polite during the lesson. Hindi daw ako nag-smile man lang. And then he said, I remember what he said kasi nag-report siya. Tapos, sinend sa akin ng company yung email niya. Sabi niya sa email niya or sa report niya, the tutor was not polite at all. She never smiled during the lesson. And that lesson was my first appointment for the day. So, nasira daw yung araw niya because of that. 'Di ba? It made a very big impact to my student. So, hindi natin alam na yung every gesture natin, every behavior natin during the lesson would create a very big impact on our students' life. Or, let's say, our students' day. Gagaya nga ng sinabi ko, nasira daw yung araw ng student ko kasi nga, hindi man lang daw ako nag-smile. And ako yung first na nakausap niya for that day. So, I will always remember that. That will always be my motivation and my challenge to make sure that I approach each student in a polite way. And of course, we have to be professional. Remember, we are being paid for this job. So, regardless of our workplace, kahit nasa bahay tayo, as I've mentioned, then we have to make sure that we take our jobs seriously. Okay? So, that's my number 3 tip. Number 4, give effective and honest feedback. This is a very, very important part of being an online English tutor. We have to make sure that we know how to provide appropriate and honest feedback. Ito yung isa sa mga nilulook forward ng students natin. Before we end the lesson, we have to make sure that we give feedback. And we have to make sure that we know how and when to give feedback. Of course, feedback is not just negative. We have positive feedback too. And this is very important. Wag lang tayo mag-focus doon sa negative feedback na ibibigay natin sa student natin. Let's also appreciate or recognize our students' strengths. That way, they will know kung ano yung magandang ginagawa nila at ano yung kailangan nilang i-improve. In order for us to do that, again, we have to concentrate during the lesson. We have to prepare so that we are already familiar with the lesson material. And also, we have to make sure that we give honest feedback. Hindi yung for the sake of giving feedback lang. We have to make sure that we are honest. Our students are there to learn and they really expect to have negative feedback or to receive negative feedback from their tutors. It's just how we say them. In order for our feedback to be effective, we have to make sure that we say them in a nice way. Okay? Appreciate their strengths, appreciate their good points, and of course, we have to provide negative feedback in a polite way. That way, your student would feel that you are very much willing to help him or her. And if your feedback is clear, your student will go back or will book your lesson again kasi naiintindihan niya kung ano yung dapat niyang gawin. So, ibig sabihin, Parang sasabihin niya na, oh, yung teacher na to, gusto niya talaga akong tulungan. So, I'm going to book her lesson again. 'Di ba? So, if bumabalik yung mga students sa'yo, it means that they are satisfied with your service. They are happy with how you teach. You are an effective tutor. So, we have to follow these tips in order for us to keep our students, to have more regular students. And actually, if you are an effective tutor, your students will also recommend you to other students. Kasi, for example, sa isang company, madami silang doon, madaming naka-enroll sa isang company, isang online company, isang online school. If your student had a very positive and very good experience with you, that student will recommend you to other students. So, di ba ang ganda? Parang it means that you are doing your job, you're doing your best, and you are really an effective tutor. You are creating happiness. You are a big part of your students' improvement. We don't know nga, sabi ko nga, hindi natin alam kung ano yung impact natin sa students natin. Akala natin trabaho lang. Parang simple lang siya. Kasi nga English, for us, it's just a basic subject. Pero we don't know kung ano yung impact nun sa kabila, dun sa student mo. Malay mo, you really made a very big impact on him. Parang yung feedback mo isa yun sa panghahawakan niya forever in order for him to continuously learn, in order for him to believe na kaya niyang mag-improve, in order for him to feel happy with himself or with herself. So, yun, parang ganun lang yung mga iniisip ko before I conduct my lesson. Parang, well, meron naman yung mga times na I don't feel good. Tao lang din naman tayo. Hindi tayo 100% na okay, lagi, 'di ba? Meron yung mga time or day na parang we're not feeling okay, we're not feeling good. Pero, you know, let's help ourselves. Let's help ourselves to do our best in every lesson that we conduct. I hope these tips help you. And kung meron pa kayong additional tips, please type your comments or your advice or your suggestions sa comment box below. Others can read them and you might also help other people. And of course, I will read them too para magkaroon din ako ng ibang ideas on how to be more effective. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you in our next video. Bye!